Chapter 1 The Reef 18-year-old Alfie Doyle stood at the back of the boat in his favorite blue wetsuit and looked out over the rough Australian sea. He fastened his oxygen tank, put his mouthpiece in, and took a deep breath before jumping off. Splash! He crashed into the churning waves. Almost instantly, he began to sink. He checked his oxygen levels and glanced at his watch. There was only 20 minutes to swim to the bottom, do a bit of research, and get back to the boat before he ran out of air. Ready, he tipped his head forward and plunged into the depths. As he descended, he swam past some of the Great Barrier Reef's amazing sea life. There were orange clownfish, purple and yellow surgeonfish, schools of blue-green pullerfish, and even brownish moray eels. This was the bit Alfie loved most, swimming with some of the most unusual sea creatures in the world. Alfie continued downwards. As he approached the seabed, he flicked on his underwater flashlight. When his feet touched the bottom, he lifted his hand to his mouthpiece and switched on his underwater communications piece. "Touchdown," said Alfie into the UCP. "We'll report everything as I go." In his earpiece, he could hear Harry, his boss, who was still on the boat. "Good," said Harry. "Let's hope the sands haven't shifted that much." Alfie swam to the back of the wreck, or the stern. Last time they were there, he and Harry had discovered some pieces from the officers' quarters. From what Alfie could tell, everything was as they left it 48 hours ago. He carried on, swimming the length of the rotted wooden boat, towards the bow at the front. The bow was where the crew members would have lived, and Harry in particular was keen to see what was there. Today their job was to remove the sand covering the bow, bring up any relics, and hand them over to the State Maritime Museum. As Alfie raised his flashlight to survey the scene, he gasped. The sand that had covered the front of the wreck 2 days ago was no longer there. He swam a bit closer and noticed a hole going down into the area where the crew members' quarters would have been. Alfie frantically spoke into his UCP. "Harry, something's wrong." "What do you mean?" asked Harry. "Something's not right," said Alfie. "There's no sand." As Alfie